I think that's fair to ask for more. It's fair to ask for more from the Astros offense. It's fair to ask for more from Christian Walker. Let's stop giving the guy a parade for a 2-game performance because he's not giving himself one. This was a great weekend for Astros first baseman Christian Walker, who's really been struggling to open up the year. Walker got going on Saturday with a 2-for-4 performance. No extra base hits, but hey, I will take a multi-hit game from Christian Walker, considering there have not been many of them over the course of this season. He had 0 multi-hit games in March. He had, if I'm counting correctly, I think he had 6 or 7 multi-hit games in April. And in May, which is getting closer and closer to the end, Christian Walker, going into this weekend series, had just 1, 2, 3, 4 multi-hit games this month. If you're hitting cleanup, that's not enough. You got to do more, especially when you consider that Christian Walker has regularly found himself batting with runners in scoring position. So going into Saturday's game, he had a 600 OPS. Only 7 qualified American League hitters had a lower one. And he has the most at-bats for the Astros with runners on base. And he's really struggling going into this weekend series, at least, when there were guys on base. He was slashing 204, 262, 344 going into Saturday. And of his 45 at-bats with a runner in scoring position, 25 have ended in a strikeout. 33 of his 57 strikeouts going into Saturday's game had come with a runner on base. So lots of reason to debate changing the channel whenever Christian Walker comes up to the plate. But I want to give him credit for what he did on Saturday with the 2-for-4 performance. And then, of course, on Sunday, where he has the walk-off homer, but he also had a clutch RBI hit, and he had 3 hits, a 3-for-5 game. So he's 5 for his last 9. And afterwards, there was a celebration for Christian Walker, and let's just hear what he had to say, because you can tell the guy's been pressing to actually make things happen. I'm not going to dump on a guy who's slumping, but it does get more and more frustrating, especially when we went through this with the last first baseman, who certainly was being handsomely compensated for his services. Here he is on the field with Lauren Callender talking about the resilience of the Astros after his walk-off homer Sunday.
Win this season?
Yeah, I think that's something we try to identify with. The game's never over. We're never out of a game, especially at home in front of our fans. In division stuff, the energy's high. It's a lot of fun right now.
Yeah. Vibes up. It doesn't sound exactly that peppy, which is good. It's good. It means that he, like me, realizes he could do a little bit more. He's measured. He's trying to keep calm. More from Christian Walker after the game, talking about the walk-off homer.
Considering everything you've been battling through this year?
Yeah. It feels good for sure. It's nice to execute in a big moment. It's nice to come through for the guys. This lineup's been picking each other up all year, so I feel like you're earning your keep a little bit, winning a big series at home. Good crowd today. The whole thing was enjoyable for sure.
That was
There we go. So shout out to Christian Walker. I like what I've seen the last 2 games. Can we relax? Can we stop acting like it is official? Christian Walker has arrived. Christian Walker became a Houston Astro on Sunday. I saw a lot of that on social media. I know that social media does not reflect all Astros fans, and I do want to make it clear, very happy for him. I feel for guys, especially in baseball, who have prolonged slumps, no matter how much money they're making. I do feel bad for them. I don't think Christian Walker's not trying out there, But we just did this. We just did this a couple of weeks ago. We acted as if one game made up for all of the struggles from this oft-criticized Houston athlete a couple of weeks ago. Game 2 between the Rockets and Golden State Warriors, Jalen Green scored 38 points. It was awesome, and everyone was excited, and I saw a lot of the same thing. People basically throwing a parade for Jalen Green. All the haters have to eat it now. You have to shove what you said, that big old hot take of yours, back in your mouth. And I hope you choke on it. Like, there was a lot of that. And good for Jalen Green having that one game. I don't think Jalen Green is a lost cause. But people acted like this is the Jalen Green game. And he sucked other than that game for the entirety of the series, which happens, and he's young. But I'm not making a 2-game sample size for Christian Walker into more than it was. It's a promising sign. Can we please keep it in our pants just a little bit? Let's give it a little more time. I want to see the consistency. He's batting cleanup, for God's sake, right? I mean, I still think that you should consider moving him out of that spot. You've had him in the cleanup spot so much. It was a nice couple of games, but they're paying him a lot of money. They're paying him more than they paid José Abreu, and they're getting José Abreu production again. By the way, they're still paying for José Abreu. It's just one more year. They're still paying for him. I saw a lot of that, though. Christian Walker has finally arrived as a Houston Astro. Sure, Jan. I need more. And maybe more will come against the Athletics. Maybe this is the hot streak that he needs to relax and stop overthinking it. And this is a guy who's really overthinking it. Chandler Rome had a piece in The Athletic that showed all the things that Christian Walker's been doing to try to get out of the slump. And it makes me feel bad for him. I do have empathy, believe it or not. Seeing Christian Walker say, quote, "I'll do whatever I can to try to get the baseball god's attention." Good God, dude. That's unhealthy. That is unhealthy. I think a lot of people have seen Major League. If you haven't, Dennis Haysbert, who was the State Farm actor for the longest time, or was it Allstate? I forget. Whatever the case. You know what I'm talking about. He was President Palmer in 24. That's what we really know him as. That's the only person I'll call president. Yeah. President Wayne Palmer. Hell yeah, dude. Anyway, bringing it back to Pedro Serrano in the movie Major League. The guy was superstitious. He starts making offerings to this, I guess, actually, I don't know. I'm not going to act like I know. Some sort of god named Jobu. He's offering him rum. He's offering him cigars. He's really getting superstitious. But here's what Christian Walker's been doing. He had a mustache for a couple of games on the homestand, but he only had one single in his first 8 at-bats, so he shaved it. He has switched his locker. He started wearing high socks. Like, the guy's getting a little bit crazy when it comes to trying to get this thing going. And maybe Saturday and Sunday got it going. We need to see more. That's all I'm saying. I think that's fair to ask for more. It's fair to ask for more from the Astros offense. It's fair to ask for more from Christian Walker. Let's stop giving the guy a parade for a 2-game performance, because he's not giving himself one. You know, he's not all of a sudden walking up to the plate like he's Babe Ruth or swinging his thing around like he's a Savannah banana. You know, he's not doing that. You even heard him in the post game. Very measured, very calm. Yeah, one game at a time, blah, 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 all the cliches that you want. Good. I like that. But he needs to do this more. And I still think the Astros should be looking at his spot in the lineup and wondering about whether or not he needs to be in the cleanup role. I get that he's done it in the past. This season has been rough. We're 2 months in. It's been rough. Hopefully this is the start of something new, and that we can all think to ourselves about Christian Walker. Looking back at this season, this was a home run signing by Dana Brown, but I'm going to be skeptical and cynical about it for now.